We started with the natural family planning, and that was 8 years ago. So when we first got married, I was taking hormonal birth control, and I got to the point where I was just tired of all the side effects from it, namely the depression. And so I didn't know what else was out there, but I came along some information about natural family planning, and I started reading about it. And before that point, really, the whole cycle and the whole, woman's body stuff, I was clueless. It was all a mystery. So I was really amazed that you could, track your cycle and either choose to prevent pregnancy or to conceive by just knowing which days, in your cycle are best.
We got interested in NFP because I'm actually a convert to the Catholic Church as of a year ago, and I'd never heard about it before. And Jacob grew up Catholic his whole life and so knew about it, and as crazy as it sounds, I never had thought of that being an option. You're just told by society you'd get on birth control. So once I learned about it, I thought it was so fascinating, but it's just the most natural thing, and I never had thought about it before. So we did our marriage preparation and got to actually take the course, and that's when it just kind of clicked, and it was really fascinating to me, and I fell in love with not just the scientific part of it, but also just the idea that God had behind it. It just all makes sense, and so it was incredible. And once I learned it, there was no other option. I was like, this is it. That's amazing.
I grew up Catholic my whole life. It was always something that I thought that I'd like to do with my future wife.
It really is not that complicated. It really requires two things as I see it. One is a bit of patience and a willingness to learn. So those things go hand in hand. So it's not something that you simply go and just start taking every day. And I'll grant anybody who would argue that it's not convenient, it is certainly not convenient initially. But if you put a bit of effort into it and you have a bit of patience, those things will be fruitful and not too far down the road. The other thing that I ask couples or try to challenge them with is the other requirement is that this is a respectful relationship, because obviously you can't use a natural method if you don't have mutual respect. I would see these patients in the office who were not using contraception and were very content with using natural family planning. Once I understood NFP and understood the physiology, and then of course had observed those benefits, of course this is what I'm going to do in my marriage. And then all I want is what's best for my patients and their families.
Natural family planning can also be used as a diagnostic tool. I know it's helped a lot of couples overcome infertility. And also for me, it's helped me to communicate with my doctor about health issues that I've had, hormonal imbalance issues, a possible autoimmune disease, and so it's been something that it's been priceless for my health.
Me as a man, it has helped me a lot, knowing, because I didn't know anything about women's body, so that has helped me to know what's going on with her.
Most women, when they come to me now, I'm sort of known as the doctor who can take care of their problems without prescribing the pill for many of these things. They come to me because of that, and to see how much better they feel just coming off the pill is quite remarkable. That's become the focus of my practice, is to really try to offer a different way.
And I think another big thing about it is that as a couple, yes, you obviously both decide together, but more on just like a godly aspect is, you're honoring God in the most way you can. I mean, being able to be fertile and receive that from your husband is such a gift in itself that you're practicing that. I mean, you're honoring God in all you're doing and choosing to do that. So I think as a couple, that's a huge deal to say, I'm not gonna, use contraception. You're gonna trust God in that, and you're gonna be selfless and abstain when you have to. So I think it's a huge thing, a huge way to honor God in that.
They can learn how to do this and do it confidently. Once they learn that, it's something that can never be taken away. They don't have to go get a prescription filled, and they don't have to deal with the side effects from these chemicals that are not biologically, naturally occurring. They really, truly are liberated. To see people enter into marriage when they're well prepared for marriage in that regard, it's really quite a celebration when that wedding occurs and they feel so confident entering into marriage about knowing what their family planning is going to look like.
What is Christ's love like? It is total, faithful, exclusive, and fruitful. Christ's actions never stop short and say, I'm going to give you my life, except this. On the contrary, he says, this is my body. Take it and eat it. Crazy amounts of mad divine love, right? That never holds anything of himself back. And as St. Catherine said, he's utterly mad to do so, throwing these pearls out and saving us by the shedding of his own blood. He spares himself nothing. He is not proud, and he does not hold back. And that's the image of a couple.
I guess I would say, like, out of the whole NFP experience, the main thing that I take away from it is more of just the godly aspect, that yes, it's natural and it's a way to read your body, which people who aren't Catholic use it all the time. But for me, just seeing God's overall plan and how he created your body to be able to, receive that gift from your husband, and it's such a gift, and he made it that if you're not supposed to have one, then you abstain. I mean, it's a perfect example of, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, the family unit. God gives you your husband, you get to do that here on earth. It's all like a representation. So out of all of it, I think just learning the spiritual side behind it was incredible.
I don't know if there's a much better way to show how much you love somebody than practicing NFP.
They begin by making a gift at the altar, and the rest of their life is playing that out in daily willed giftedness.
I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back to the hormonal birth control, and I have no reason to choose anything else. Respect for ourselves, and then that transcends into respect for each other.
Their communication is enhanced, and it's not something that just happens overnight. This is a part of growth through marriage and growth through living out a chaste marriage, is that there are times of continence and there are times of abstinence, but there's also times of celebration. And when there's seasons like that, there's always something to look forward to. It's something that's family affirming, it's something that's marriage affirming. It's very gratifying to see just how happy they are in marriage and how happy their family life is.